Are you ready for comprehension? Awesome. Comprehension helps us learn and think about and remember and understand so much more about what we're reading. Today on Wacky Hair Day, we're going to keep learning about comprehension. We've been talking about some special words in comprehension. This idea is called the sequence of events. Awesome, let's do it together. Get your hands ready because it's the order. So that's why we put our hands in order. The sequence of events. Wonderful. So when we talk about the sequence of events, it helps us remember the order that we do something. There's lots of words that we can use to help us retell our story. Today, in comprehension, I am going to read you a way for us to do something. And every time we have to do something or give directions, we need our special sequencing words. Just like during school every day or learning path or math path, we look at our checklist and we say, first, we're going to do this activity. Next, we're going to do our second activity. Those special words help us remember the order that we have to do something. So today, I'm going to tell you something. And then at the end, I'm going to ask you some questions to see if we've remembered and understood what we've read. Okay. I bet you could look at the pictures on here and know what we're going to talk about, but don't shout it out because I want to see if you could try to figure out the order that we're going to do something. So here it has a picture. That picture has a number 1. And next to it are some words, and it says, first, get a pine cone and string. Do I go to number 3 next? No. What about number 4? No. What about number 2? Yeah. Good. Number 2 says, next, put a string on the pine cone. Ooh, that special word next shows me that next, that is the thing I have to do after number 1. Ooh, so I said first, we did the next step. Then, that's a special word, then. We know that then means that's the next thing we do. Then, put peanut butter on a pine cone. Everyone go, yummy. I bet that'll be really sticky. Oh, number 4 says last. So now I know that's the very end thing I have to do. Last, put seeds on the pine cone. I just told you all these steps in order. Could anyone guess what is this telling us to do? Olive, what is it telling us? To make food for the birds, or it's called a bird feeder. Give me some thumbs up if you've ever made a bird feeder before. Oh, so awesome. Look at all these friends. I bet the birds loved it. So the reason that they gave us these directions were if we ever want to see birds, they gave us all these steps, all these directions on a way we could see birds because it's telling us to make a bird feeder. And that is a way we can do it. So we just looked at the pictures. We heard all of those sequencing words. Who remembers when one word, that's a sequencing word that helped told us the order? Mara, what was 1?
First.
Everyone say first. We know that is step number 1 is when we hear the word first. What was another word they used? We didn't hear second or third, but there's other words that tell us the order. Aylin, do you remember one?
Next.
Everyone say next.
Next.
We know that first we do that first step. First we get a pine cone and string. Next we put the string on a pine cone. Whoa, what was that sequencing word after that? It wasn't third, but it's another one. Parker, do you remember?
Finally.
Ooh, I like that one. Finally, or last is the very end. But there was a word before that starts with a T, and an H, and an E, then an N. Any friends remember? Olive, do you remember?
But last is
Yes, last is the very last one. Everyone say then.
then.
Then is just like next or after.
Or third.
Just like how we talked about first, I went to the store, then I baked cookies. Then means after. So if we say first we did something, Next, we did something else. Then we still know that we're going in order. So are you ready? Put on your thinking caps. Go whoop. All right, I'm going to ask you some questions to see if we remember the order of making our bird feeder. Oh, it says, use the information, so use everything that we just talked about from our poster to answer these questions. It's always good to ask yourself questions while you're reading a book so you remember what you're reading. Number one, what step comes after you get a pine cone and string? So first we have to get the pine cone and string. This is telling us what step, asking us what step comes after. Is it A, put string on the pine cone, B, put peanut butter on the pine cone, or C, put seeds on the pine cone? Which step comes after? Give me a thumbs up if you remember. Which step comes after? Sawyer, what do you think? What happens after you get a pine cone and string?
A.
A. Do you remember what A was? Put the string on the pine cone. Okay. If you agree, put your hands on your head. Yeah, he is right. So first it told us, it's not working right now, but that's okay. First he told us to get a pine cone and string, and then it said after you put the string on the pine cone. Everyone say, muy bien, Sawyer. Number 2, what step is right before? So what happens before you put the seeds on the pine cone? Is it A, put the string on the pine cone, B, get a pine cone, or C, put peanut butter on the pine cone? Which one happens before you put the seeds on the pine cone? Think in your brain. Which one, Dax? What happens before? Right before. Some of these might also happen before, but which one happens right before you put the seeds on the pine cone?
Put peanut butter on the pine cone.
Oh, if you agree, put your hands on your head. Amazing. Everyone say, muy bien, Dax. I'll take my marker and color it in. Question number 3 says, what is the last? So we know it's towards the end, the very last thing. What is the last step in making a bird feeder? Is it A, put peanut butter on the pine cone?
Definitely not.
Is it B, put seeds on the pine cone?
Definitely yes.
Keep it in your brain, please. Is it C, get a pine cone and a string? I'm going to show you sign language real quick. Sign language for A is like this. A. So what is the last step in making a bird feeder? Show me with your hands. Is it A, put peanut butter on the pine cone, the last thing? Is it B, fingers together, thumb straight down? B, put seeds on the pine cone? Or is it C, here's C, just like our Zoofonics C, C, get a pine cone and string? Which one is the last one? Show me with your fingers. Which one is it? The very last thing that it told us. Nolan, which one? Ooh, which one did you show?
B.
B, exactly. What do you have to do last? Do you remember? What did it tell us? What did we have to do last, Nolan?
Put the seeds on the pine.
Oh, exactly. We already got the string. We already put peanut butter on it so it would stick. And last we have to put the seeds, the yummy parts that the birds are going to eat. So I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to color in B. Put the seeds on the pine cone. Look at all of these great questions that we're answering, and we're thinking even more about what is going on. Last one. Number 4. What is this passage, which is just like the story, the words. So what is this passage mostly about? What is the big idea or the main idea? Is it A, how to make a bird feeder? Show me with your hands. Is it B, how to watch birds? Or is it C, how to find a pine cone? Show me with your fingers. Which one is it? Which one is this passage or this story, those words and those pictures mostly about? So what's the big idea or the main idea? What is it? Is it mostly about? Dax, what do you think?
A.
A. Why? Why do you think so?
because this all is about a bird feeder, and it says on A how to make a bird feeder.
Exactly. So this big idea, remember we talked about the big idea. The main idea is mostly about how we make this bird feeder. So I would color it in. Wow, friends. We just did amazing answering these comprehension questions. Asking ourselves questions, whether it's in our brain or if we have paper or we do it together in a smartboard, that is always important to help us think deeper about what we are reading to help us understand it even more. All right, so all of these words helped us do the sequence of events or put it in order. So take those hands for your karate chops so we can do it in order. Let's say it together. Ready? The sequence of events. Awesome job. Keep reading. Keep asking yourself questions to help you understand it better. See you next week.